Every day, there are incredible preparedness deals floating around the internet, but who has time to dig through dozens of websites to find them? That's why we created preparedness.com, your one-stop site for the best prepper deals online. Our team scans the web, finds the biggest discounts on survival gear, food storage, water filters, radios, and more, and posts them in one easy place. No more wasting hours searching or missing out on limited time sales. At prepperfinds.com, you'll see the best deals every single day, so you can save money while stocking up on what really matters. Check it out today at prepperfinds.com. Bookmark it, visit daily, and never miss a deal that could keep your family prepared. That's prepperfinds.com, where smart preppers shop.
Survive, thrive, stay alive. It's time to get prepared with the Prepping Academy podcast.
Hey, welcome everyone. I am Forrest. Welcome to the Prepping Academy podcast. Hope everyone is doing wonderful today. I'm back in the seat. Patrick he's not taking a break, but he's pushing out podcasts, but I'm back in the seat. Wanted to share something with you guys today that I've created. Yes, created with my own hands. And so let me ask you a question. So what if everything that you know that works right now stops tomorrow? No power, the banks are closed, no one's coming to help you. Would you panic? Would you be ready? Do you have a plan? Well, today I'm going to talk about something that may help you with your thinking and your mindset. Most people don't think about this at all, the mindset portion of preparing and survival. I've created this game that you can do on your phone, on the computer, but it's called The Last Scenario. And it's somewhat like the conflicted card game of the past, 10 years ago or so, that had the actual card decks. Well, now I've created my own game. Questions are all new, nothing like that game. And it's all digital on your phone, your iPad, or your computer. So the truth is, most people don't even think about the mindset and some of these questions. And so a game like this is perfect to get your family, your friends, your group to start thinking about this stuff. Starts getting you focused on what would I do if? What are they going to do if? Most of you have, you got your food storage, you got your gear, you may win the 10% and actually have a plan. Very few people have a plan. Their plan is just to eat their food and use their gear. That's kind of funny. That's their plan. They don't actually have plans written out. But if things go sideways, a lot of time people freeze. And that's why in the military, you practice over and over and over. That way, you're like, okay, why do I have to practice? I've got the checklist in front of me. It's laminated. All I have to do is follow the checklist. Well, you would not believe in stressful situations, following that checklist, or even like remembering you have a checklist, sometimes gets tricky. It really does. But that's why I created this game, so you can pre-think situations before they actually happen. You have to think through some situation, like what if? And some of the questions they're weird, they're crazy, all of them are what ifs. But you're not going to sit there on the couch as you're watching your favorite sitcom going, what would happen right now if a UFO came through that window? Okay, that's not one of the questions, but that would be a terrible question, actually. But these questions put you in a scenario, put you kind of like under pressure, because especially if you're with your family and friends and you've got the answer to the question and they're like, oh, what's it going to say? And you're like, oh, what do I say here? And it is kind of tricky because sometimes you're like, I don't want to tell them how bad I really am, but it makes you think. So let me give you an example. Okay, so you're at your retreat or home, whatever, and a family shows up at your door and says they're hungry and they're desperate. Do you let them in? That decision could change everything for you and your family. That could be they could be a setup. They could be really hungry. They could be helpful. He could be a doctor. The kid could be, you just got out of prison. You might have a daughter. They might have a daughter. It changes everything. So what would you do? Do you give them part of your food? So at that point, you're never going to get more food from the store. So every time you give food, which is life, you're taking life from the longevity of your family. So it's a big decision. So let's say you have enough food for 6 months for your family. If you bring this family in for a day or 2 days, that cuts down your survivability projected date because they're taking food unless you feel like food's coming, or you can, acquire food or grow food in that time span. So it is a huge decision. In my group, we go through these questions all the time, and we actually have written rules and regulations so we don't make decisions spare of the moment. Now, we do have the freedom to always change because we made the rules, but we wanted a policy set standard. Most people have never even thought about this. A family coming up, a little baby, a teenage boy, mom and dad. What do you do? People are going to have different answers. Your answers are going to be different. And then other people in your group or your family are going to have different answers as well. That's where this idea came from, is the mindset portion of prepping. So it forces you to think through situations you have not even really thought about. So I created a game. It's called The Last Scenario. It's the last scenario. This is the last situation you're going to be in before you die. No, before, things get really bad. Maybe they're already really bad, but the game is called The Last Scenario. And it's not a game from the traditional sense, like you don't get points. No one gets hit over the head with a bat. You don't have to throw a cow at them. There's some game you throw a cow or something, and you say moo. I don't even know what that game is. And there's no real winner. The winner is the knowledge everyone obtains from playing the game. Your 14-year-old kid, your 8-year-old kid could say something and it sparks a thought in your head, and you go, oh, I never thought about that. So it's a learning type game, expanding your knowledge, making you a better, well-rounded person. The more you think through a situation and then it happens, the better you are equipped to handle the reaction, the emotions, the actual life situation. And I'll give you an example. In the military, we did all kinds of, emergency operations, all kinds of, exercises. And when I've got out of the military, I've literally, not by choice, have been like the first person on a scene of like 3 major car wrecks. And I believe my training from the military and my mindset gave me the ability to respond and act during, being the first person on an accident. Just helping me make the right decisions, kind of seeing the overall big picture of what's going on. I believe it really helped. And I think it can help you if you maybe, go through some of these as well. And it gives you real world scenarios like security threat to you and your family. What happens if it's a financial collapse? No one wants to think about that, but sometimes we need to think about that. Medical emergencies, you know, you know, questions for your group, someone's stealing food and you're like, okay, if we find them, what do we do? Then do we look for them? All kinds of moral dilemmas. Dilemmas. There's so many things that we just don't. If you just sit around and you think about this stuff, come on, something's wrong. No, I'm kidding. That's what this pack's for. So I have this game. It's free to download. It comes with 25 questions, and the questions they're not like genius questions. Come on. But they make you think. I even have packs that you can, some of them are purchased. So the game's free, and you can purchase different packs. Like if you have a group, there are different scenarios groups are going to be faced with versus, just you and your family. I have teenage packs. Like you can ask your kids, hey, you're home alone and mom and dad went out to eat and they're going to be back in an hour, but someone knocks at the door and now they started banging at the door. What do you do? Do you call 911? Do you call your grandma next door? How's she going to help? And you talk through these events with your kids, and there's all kinds of great questions there. But I think I got 15 packs, but that you can do, and they're so cheap. There are, and all the proceeds go to help our nonprofit, PRENERT, which is a preparedness emergency response nonprofit. So go check it out, download it, and put it on your phone. You can. It's not from the App Store, okay? It is. You go to the website, you go to the app, and then you can save that to your home page or to your phone, and it's just like having an app. I kid you not. It works inside. It's amazing. So, so what do you do when there's a threat? What do your kids do? So, because survival isn't always just about gear. Oh my goodness. I do have a gear site. That's Prepper Finds. Go buy your gear. Get your gear. But mindset, I would say mindset and communications are 90% of people's downfall. They lack in communications. They don't even know how to a lot of people don't even have a transistor radio to listen anymore. It's all internet based, or they have their big stereo at their house that might not be powered, but so communication, sending and receiving, and also mindset, I think are the two weakest. Maybe medical, but I don't know. Moms have been doing a good job, and dads, a good job for, thousands of years of taking care of the kids. And we've learned a lot, but anyway, that's my 2 cents, of course. So, the mindset, you build your mindset by thinking, discussing, and challenging what you think the right answer is. Because all of a sudden you're thinking of an answer, and all of a sudden, your wife's sitting beside you and she says something that you're like, oh my goodness, who is this lady? What in the world? And you learn something about your wife or your neighbors or people in your group. You're like, you're the most awful person in the world. Okay, no. But you do learn a lot if everyone's honest. And you get to learn about what people and their mindset are and how they're thinking. So, because let's be honest, kids would go, well, you feed them, Daddy. Am I not wrong? That is the truth. And your grandfather will probably go, yeah, you got to get rid of them as soon as possible. He's tough. He's been through, some situations. Like, yeah, you got to get them out of here as soon as possible. I'm predicting this. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. But until you hear someone else's answer and you realize, hey, I never thought about that. It sharpens your decision making. And it helps your kids as well. Like we have a group. I've been in a group for over 25 years. And my kids grew up in a survival group. And some of these questions back in the day helped my kids handle situations where they could have easily said, "Hey guys, we're going to, our family retreat." Well, what's your family retreat? So it kind of, we talked about it with our kids. So they go, "Oh, it's just a family, cabin in Miami Beach, Florida or something." We misdirected the people they were trying to get answers from them. And so, you can do this a few ways. You can do it with your family. You can do it with your kids. You can even do it by yourself and go through the answers. That's kind of cheating, but it's okay. Go through and answer all the questions in your mind. That way, when you're with your group, you sound really smart. How would you like to cheat at a game? Even then, you would probably make some mistakes and people will look at you like, I don't even know who you are. With your kids is great. I do have two kid packs, one for very young kids, one for older kids. And I've actually, some of the people that were testing this sent me videos of their kids answering the questions. And first of all, I was like, my heart was like, oh my gosh, this is working exactly better than I thought. And then the parents will go, we so surprised at their answers. And they were doing it over the kitchen table right when they were finishing eating dessert. And it was shocking. I had a little pride there for a minute going, wow, that is so cool. And the parents were like, hey, thank you for doing that. We've never talked to our kids about some of these scenarios. And now, we can make some of our own up. But the kids love it too, because the kids love, so the parents were, the way they had two phones and they were asking the kids the quick kids questions and the kids were asking the adults the adult questions. And they're like, it was kind of hard to answer some of them in front of my kids. Anyway, it will expand your mind without a doubt. So you sit down, you let the first person go. They have a few minutes to answer it. Everyone can comment or saying, you're wrong. Then you hand it off to the next person. And the next person will, read a question and answer the question. And again, there's no points. It's just to expand your mind, to make you start thinking. And you'll see where people agree, where they clash, where your plans may fall apart. You may get a divorce. No divorce. No, you may start sleeping with one eye open. Okay. Like, okay, where's my wife going? I'm just kidding. Depends on what your wife says, doesn't it? But yeah, it literally can help you in all your thinking. It's like going through the last scenario before it actually happens, and you get to think through it. So here's another one. I'm going to give you another one. You're low on food. A group approaches your house offering to trade. They want to trade for anything that you have, food, ammo, guns, but something feels off. It's like, okay, what's going on? Something doesn't feel right. Do you trade anyway? Do you turn them away? Do you set up a safer meeting in another location? Do you avoid contact completely? What do you do? What do you do? There's no easy answer. And are there some correct answers? I would say sometimes there are some correct answers. But that's the point. For you to talk about it, discuss it, and kind of figure out in your head what possibly you want to do. If you want to check this out, you can go over to the Last Scenario card game. The URL is lastscenario.com. Last, SCENARIO. It'll be in the comments, but lastscenario.com. It's a great looking website. You can literally from the website go and see the game And then when you do it from your phone, you can bring the game in on your phone and it works beautiful. It's just, you wouldn't even know it's not an app installed on your phone. And you save it to your phone and that's easy. It goes through all how you do that. You can set up timers. So when you hand someone a phone, they're going to have 3, 5, 10, whatever minutes that you set it to. You can have them do it in random order. You can bookmark your favorites. You can share it with friends, the questions, and it's a game. I put a lot of effort and time in and come up with some questions. We've tested all the questions. I personally haven't tested all the questions because I got more questions coming in. We're doing a communication pack. My comms officer, Patrick, sitting in this very seat with his Grid Downs Comms Up, is coming up with questions as well for help people that understand a little bit about communications. I'm asking friends, maybe a doctor and a nurse to come up with some as well. We're going to expand these. We're going to have medical packs, kid packs, communication packs, just to, sharpen your skill, get your mindset. So here's a statement I've heard all my life. It says, you won't rise to the occasion. You will fall back to your training. Now, and that is exactly, again, what I was saying, the military, they train you. Because you won't rise to, you won't become Superman when the world needs you. You're going to fall back to your training and what the baseline, and that happens all the time. So the question is, have you trained your mind? Have you trained your mindset? Hey guys, that URL again is lastscenario.com. You'll see a little family on there, but it's called the survival card game. Survive, adapt, outlast. But lastscenario.com, it'll be in the description down below. Click on that, check it out. And hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys have a great week, and we'll see you next time on the Prepping Academy podcast.
Thanks for listening to the Prepping Academy podcast. Preppers Unite at www.preppingacademy.com.
Are you a prepper or homesteader looking to connect with like-minded people in your area? Looking to start your own preparedness group? Already have a group? Well, look no further than PrepperNet. PrepperNet is dedicated to personal responsibility, individual freedoms, and being self-reliant. PrepperNet has monthly meetings in over 100 cities where you can meet and learn with like-minded people in your area. PrepperNet, where preppers unite. Find us online at preppernet.com.